Hello everyone, welcome to the 225 Q&A test. Plaintiff attorney is Mr. Reese, R-E-E-C-E. And this is just Q&A. The defense and the court does not come in, so it's strictly plaintiff and answer. And again, plaintiff is Mr. Reese, R-E-E-C-E. All right, this will be at 225. All right. Ready? If you could explain that, please. Just take a moment and explain that a little bit more. If something is handled, you said that you would then change into a different pair of gloves. Why does that occur? Why are you trained so that occurs? Well, for example, if you find a piece of evidence, you may not know exactly what's in it, but be it any type of DNA, blood, or anything like that, then you pick it up. If you don't, you pick up something else. You're going to transfer what you've just had on that item onto a different piece of evidence, and it's contaminated at that point, because now you can no longer say, did that item have the blood on it already or did it not? And if you didn't change your gloves, you can't say because you've now transferred it and you contaminated the new evidence. I don't know if I already asked you, and perhaps it's obvious by this particular picture, but where on this bill of sale found within the residence? Oh, this one I believe was found on or in a drawer in the computer desk. All right, in the same living room area near the Auto Trader magazine that we've previously seen, is that right? Yes, that is correct. Let's move on, if we can, to the bedroom area. That is the master bedroom. I'm referring to the bedroom of Jared Johnson. Could you describe first the size of that bedroom, then describe the search efforts that occurred in there? It's a rather small bedroom. You've got the queen size bed, I believe, is in the middle of the room. He had a walkway just to walk around and get to the other side. Then there were closets up against the wall, so it was a smaller room. And when we entered that room, we had, like Sergeant Montel, he concentrated his efforts on one side. Detective Reamer and Detective Adams searched the other area, and I stood pretty much in the doorway watching what was going on, documenting what was located. Now, this is the very first night of the search. Is it fair to say that you and other law enforcement officers were aware or unaware of what had happened to Patty Newberry at that time? That's correct. We didn't know exactly what we had on our hands at that time. Did you specifically know what you were looking for? No, we were looking for anything that might lead us in a direction, any clue, any type of evidence. All right, I'm going to show you now what's been marked as exhibit number 82. Describe what that is for the jury, please. This would be a photograph of the headboard area of Gavin Taft's bed. Now the bed, or on top of or above Mr. Taft's bed, could you tell the jury what you observed on the 5th of November? It's kind of cut off on the photo, but up on top there is right above the bed there was a gun rack which housed 2 firearms, and there were 2 long-barreled firearms in the gun rack directly above the bed. All right, well, I think we have a better picture of the gun rack itself, which is exhibit number 83. We will move to that. Tell us what we are looking at here. That is the photo of the gun rack that was directly above the bed. All right, now at this early search, at this early stage, were those firearms confiscated or seized by you and the other officers? On the night of the 5th, those firearms were not seized. We knew we had an opportunity to come back, so those firearms were not taken at that time. All right, and that concept, the concept of knowing that you were going to be able to come back, or that other law enforcement officers were going to be able to come back, could you describe that a little bit more for the jury? Well, the scene itself, you know, the whole area of the junkyard, we didn't know exactly where we would be directing our resources. We knew we had a lot of work to do. This is a very large area. We could not humanely get this done within one evening. So we knew we were going to be there. How long exactly, we didn't know, but we knew we would be back the next day for sure. It turned out to be almost 8 days, is that right? That is correct, yes. On this particular gun rack, that is the gun rack in Mr. Taft's bedroom, how many long guns, that is how many rifles were located on that gun rack? If you recall, there were 2 rifles. The rifle on top, I'm going to show you a photograph that is exhibit number 86. Do you recognize that? Okay, it appears to be one of the firearms that was located in the gun rack in the bedroom. And just so this jury understands, and they'll hear from another witness, but it wasn't you, but a different officer actually on the next day that seized this weapon. Is that right? That's correct. The other weapon, exhibit number 87, tell the jury what that is, please. It would be a photograph of a muzzle loader. I believe this was the other firearm that was in the gun rack. All right, Mr. Taylor, within the bedroom itself, did you, during the search, and your fellow law enforcement officers locate any items or other items that would be capable of restraint, that is capable of restraining another person? Yes, Sergeant Montel located a set of handcuffs and a set of leg irons. I'm going to show you what's been marked as exhibit number 84. Tell us what we're looking at, please. This would be a photograph of the handcuffs that were found in Gavin Taft's bedroom. Do you remember, and can you describe for the jury from what location those handcuffs were recovered? I have in my report that it was taken from a nightstand which was directly next to the desk. That nightstand has now become known as the bookcase. Sergeant Montel located the handcuffs and the leg irons in that bookcase, which was right next to the desk. All right, you mentioned some leg irons as well. I'll have you look at exhibit number 85. Tell us what that is, please. This would be a photograph of those leg irons. All right, so we do have a word list. We've got Jared Johnson, capital Jared, Johnson, capital Johnsson, Auto Trader Magazine, Auto Trader's one word, capital A, lowercase uto, capital T, lowercase rader, but it is one word. Magazine, capital Magazine. Patty Newberry, Patty, capital Patti, Newberry, capital Newbury. Gavin Taft, capital Gavin, Taft, capital Taft. Mr. Taylor, capital Taylor. Detective Reamer, capital Detective, Reamer, capital Reimer. Detective Adams, capital D on Detective, Adams, capital Adams. Sergeant Montel, Sergeant is Sergeant, Montel, capital Montel. And that concludes the 225 Q&A test. Good luck.